Reese Witherspoon is a famous Hollywood actress. In addition to acting, Reese is a producer. She also founded her own book club. The actress has many films to her credit, the most famous of which are Legally Blonde, Cruel Intentions, Just Like Heaven and Earth, and others. Childhood and youth. Reese was born in 1976 in New Orleans, Louisiana. Her parents were doctors. Her mother received a PhD in medicine. The woman specialized in teaching nursing. The actress's father is a military doctor, rose to the rank of lieutenant colonel. His specialty is otolaryngology. Reese spent her early childhood in Germany, where her father served in the military. Soon the family returned to America and settled in Tennessee. Here the girl began attending elementary school. Then she transferred to a prestigious girls' school called Harpeth Hall. As a child, Reese dreamed of following in her parents' footsteps and saw herself only as a doctor. However, everything changed by chance. The girl made her debut on television and fell in love with cinema. Her debut in advertising occurred at the age of 7, when she took part in the filming of a commercial for a flower shop. After that, the little actress began attending acting classes. Later, teachers repeatedly noted the bright talent of their student. Reese studied very well at school, getting excellent grades. Her favorite subject at school was English literature because the girl simply adored reading. After graduating from school, she began studying at Stanford, choosing the philology department. But after the first year, she realized that she did not want to be a literature teacher and left the university. Reese decided to try herself in the acting field and was right. She began attending auditions, and soon she was offered her first roles in films, movies. The first serious work for young Miss Witherspoon was the role of a villager in a film called Man on the Moon. Critics spoke favorably about the work of the aspiring actress. Her performance was called unforgettable and touching. Thanks to this role, she even received a nomination for Best Young Actress. However, Reese was able to win in this nomination only 2 years later, when she starred in the film Jack the Bear. She was recognized as the Best Supporting Actress, and from that moment on, she began to be invited to more serious roles. Witherspoon's cinematic biography began with such films as Return of Lonesome Dove, Unbearable Choice, Keep the Baby. A real breakthrough for the young actress was the leading role in the famous film called Cruel Intentions. The film is based on the book of the same name by Coderlos de Laclos. In addition, Reese starred in other famous projects, Pleasantville, Best Laid Plans, and many others. Another bright work of Witherspoon was the role in the film Fear, where she was paired with Mark Wahlberg himself. Before us is a thriller based on the famous love story of Romeo and Juliet. However, this time the love of two young people becomes a real tragedy for the girl's loved ones. They begin to have serious problems. Their lives are in danger, and they do not know how to get out of this mess. Witherspoon also became famous for the films American Psycho, the series Friends, and the film Nicky the Little Devil. All of these projects started in 2000. By that time, Reese had already acquired the status of a young but very promising actress. However, her most striking role was the image of a charming blonde who loves to dress stylishly and has intelligence. The romantic comedy Legally Blonde became a real box office hit, and the main character played by Witherspoon was loved by millions of ordinary people. Witherspoon's heroine, by her own example, destroys the stereotype that all fair-haired young ladies are not distinguished by intelligence and quick-wittedness. The stylish and fashionable blonde is resourceful, easily appears in court, and finds her calling. Reese became truly famous. Directors showered her with new offers. She began to actively act. She appeared in the film Sweet Home, in the film The Importance of Being Earnest, and also starred in the sequel to the film Legally Blonde. Then she starred in the film adaptation of the classic novel Vanity Fair by William Thackeray. Her filmography was replenished with another popular project, a romantic comedy called Just Like Heaven. Here she appeared in the image of a career doctor who is not going to improve her personal life. She was not going to tie her life to anyone and dreamed of devoting it to her career. However, the girl gets into an accident and ends up in a coma. In the form of a spirit, the main character of this story comes to her old apartment and finds a new tenant, played by Mark Ruffalo. Only the new tenant can see the spirit. At first the couple quarrel, but then they become friends and soon fall in love with each other. In 2006, the actress won an Oscar for the film called Walk the Line. Here, she played the wife of the popular country singer Johnny Cash. Interestingly, Reese performed some of the songs herself. The same role brought her a Golden Globe Award, an award from the Screen Actors Guild of America, and a prize from the British Academy of Film. Not long ago, Reese was awarded her own star on the Walk of Fame. The opening took place in 2010. Since then, the actress has been invited exclusively to play leading roles. In 2010, the actress appeared in the lead role in the film How Do You Know? A year later, she delighted her fans with a new bright film called Water for Elephants. Here she starred in the company of Robert Pattinson. A year later, 2013 comedy was an extremely productive year called This Means War. She starred in the crime drama film The Devil's Knot. The film tells about the problems of tolerance and tolerance. A murder is committed in a small town, but the police are not going to look for the culprits. Instead, the police accuse a group of nonconformist guys. That same year, the actress appeared in a project called Mad. The film is recognized as one of the best examples of independent cinema of the 21st century. A year later, Reese played the leading role again, this time in the biographical film Wild. The film tells the story of Cheryl Strayed, who told how the death of her mother and divorce from her beloved husband affected her. Cheryl was broken after a series of tragedies and could not get out of this state. But then an interesting idea suddenly occurred to her. She decided to walk hundreds of kilometers along the famous route called the Pacific Crest Trail. Critics appreciated Reese's efforts and talent, who received another Oscar for her role in this film. In the comedy film Inherent Vice, she played a supporting role, and the leading role went to Joaquin Phoenix. The next project that interested Witherspoon was the film White Lies. The plot is dedicated to the history of the civil war in Sudan. The main character, played by Reese, works in a refugee camp. Here these unfortunate people can find refuge from all the horrors of war. In fact, the theme of war and helping the victims is very close to the actress. She has been involved in charity for a long time. In particular, she assisted organizations to help orphans. 2015 also pleased all fans of the magnificent Witherspoon. She presented a comedy action movie called Hot Babes on the Run. This time, Reese appeared in the image of a law enforcement officer who can boast of straightforwardness and honesty. No one could imagine that the miniature Reese would fit into the image so well. The actress's height is only 156 centimeters, and her weight is 46 kilograms. However, her miniature size did not prevent the actress from playing her role perfectly. According to the plot, a policewoman must protect the widow of a drug lord who is being hunted. The widow was played by Sofia Vergara. A year later, Reese began working on a new project. This time she turned to the detective genre, starring in a series called Big Little Lies. Witherspoon's heroine is a very strong and determined woman, a mother of many children, who bravely copes with everyday adversity. This is a screen adaptation of the same-name work by writer Leanne Moriarty. The plot of the film begins with a parents' party organized by a local school. The party begins, everything goes as usual, but suddenly the participants of the event see the corpse of one of the party guests. Such an unexpected and terrible event becomes a shock for the residents of a small town, who immediately begin to figure out the possible killer. The plot revolves around three parents. In addition to Reese, such famous actresses as Nicole Kidman, Shailene Woodley, and Zoe Kravitz took part in the project. The premiere of the film took place in 2017. The series was met with great love from viewers and positive reviews from critics. Financially, the project was also more than successful. The creators of the series received many prestigious awards, including 8 Emmy nominations and 4 Golden Globes. In 2017, the actress tried on a new image. She transformed into a single mother in a series called Visiting Alice. A year later, Reese decided to take on a science fiction project, expanding the boundaries of her usual role. The film A Wrinkle in Time became the first science fiction film in Witherspoon's cinematography. She was lucky enough to work on the same set with Oprah Winfrey herself. Filming took place in New Zealand, and all the actors were able to communicate with representatives of the indigenous people of this region. In 2019, the actress continued to star in the film Big Little Lies. This time, the creators of the project invited several more iconic actors, including Meryl Streep. Meryl brilliantly played Louise, the mother of the deceased man. The woman decided to come to the scene of her son's death to figure out what was happening on her own. That same year, Witherspoon starred in a series again. Her new project was a drama called The Morning Show. She was paired with Jennifer Aniston. The plot of the film highlights the life and problems of the powerful, people who have unlimited power over television. A year later, both projects, with Witherspoon, received Golden Globe nominations. The series were named the best television drama projects of the past year. A bright premiere of 2020 was a film called Little Fires Everywhere. Before Us is a miniseries dedicated to a detective investigation. The film is based on the novel of the same name by writer Celeste Ng. Personal life. Reese met her first lover at her coming-of-age party. She immediately found a common language with Ryan Phillip. The romance between them flared up when the actors began filming together in the film Cruel Intentions. During their joint work, they fell in love with each other and soon got married. The wedding took place in 1999. By that time, Reese was already expecting her first child, and soon she gave birth to a daughter, who was named Ava Elizabeth. Soon the happy couple had a son, who they named Deacon. However, the couple often quarreled, so they soon announced their divorce. The fact is that Reese's career took off, and Ryan was quickly forgotten and no longer invited to new films. Due to career failures, the guy began to use drugs and alcohol. This negatively affected the relationship of the married couple. So in 2007, they officially divorced. The children stayed with Reese. After a breakup with her first husband, Reese was in a relationship with an actor named Jake Gyllenhaal for 2 years. One of Jake's most notable roles is considered to be his work in the film called Brokeback Mountain. Despite the fact that the lovers' relationship was ideal, Reese did not agree to become Jake's wife. As a result, they separated. Only a year later, a new love appeared in the actress's personal life. She began dating a man named Jim Toth. The lovers met through mutual friends. Jim saved Reese from the advances of his drunk friend. Jim promised Reese that he would show her what it meant to be in a relationship with a wonderful life partner. He managed to keep his promise. The wedding took place in 2011, and soon the actress gave birth to her third child. Jim turned out to be a wonderful husband and an ideal father. He communicates well with her children from her first marriage, and even established communication with her ex-husband. Reese tries to support her husband and is grateful to him for his sincerity and respect. Jim is always ready to support his wife. It was he who came up with the idea of creating a production center, which Witherspoon later organized. She believes that her second husband has leadership and organizational qualities. In addition, according to Reese, Jim manages to make a delicious latte. In 2017, the actress made a loud statement. She said that she was molested at the age of 16. A director molested her. Alyssa Milano also joined the actress's revelations. Reese is quite frank about everything that concerns her personal life. She has her own account on popular social networks. Here she shows personal photos and also posts photos from family and friendly gatherings. Fans are still surprised by the resemblance of the actress and her eldest daughter Ava. Almost everyone agrees on one thing. Ava looks like a copy of her mother in her younger years. It is interesting that the actress's biography also includes an arrest. In her youth, Reese ended up in the police because of a scandal in 2013. She defended her drunk husband from the police when Jim got behind the wheel of a car. The actress is not afraid to change her image. She regularly appears with new haircuts and dyes her hair. However, most of her fans believe that light hair suits Reese the best. In her youth, she rarely wore makeup, but now a whole team of professionals conjures over her makeup. Charming Reese tries to take care of her appearance. She is rightfully called one of the youngest-looking actresses of our time. To be in perfect shape, she regularly exercises. In an interview, she admitted that she likes the advice of an experienced instructor named Harley Pasmack the most. It is interesting that this instructor has already helped actresses Jessica Simpson and Eva Mendes get into perfect physical shape. The program consists not only of physical exercises, but also involves 5 meals a day. The portions should not be too large. Reese claims that after the birth of 3 children, it is very difficult for her to lose weight. She noticed that she has cellulite, so the actress tries not to wear revealing swimsuits. On the beach, she prefers to dress in closed models. When choosing dresses for going out, Reese is guided by the same principle. That's all in today's video. If you like the video, then please like, share, and subscribe.